Welcome to Tuesday Truths. I'm Andrew, your host, and today we're diving into the most powerful moments from this week's conversation with this week's amazing, inspiring guest. These are clips, but they're also insights that'll change how you see your own journey. So let's get right into it.
There's always the space for choice. We don't always have to keep doing what we've always done. We don't, and if that stimulus always gives you the same response, and that response is to go and down a bottle of wine, or to have a screaming match with somebody, or to chuck yourself back into work, or to make that bulletin at 10 o'clock at night, or to pick up a phone call when you're off sick, or grieving. There's actually, between the stimulus of the phone ringing or the email pinging and the response, the choice you make, that it's all about choices. I can't, that for me, looking at the book on the shelf there, if anyone's not read it, The Choice by Edith Eger, she was a survivor of the Holocaust, of one of the POWs, and she writes about that just so beautifully in her autobiography, the choices that we have. You can have a choice to let it define you, or you can have the choice to define yourself. And I feel if people like her and Viktor Frankl said that, then I feel that's my permission to do the same.
Absolutely. So each day you get up, it sounds like you are pretty clear on your purpose and your plan of action for the day. Is there something that you do to prepare for each day?
Yeah, I have a cup of tea. You've got to have a brew to start the day, right? Before I check my phone or any of that shenanigans, I have my cup of tea. I feed my dog. I feed my cat. If my kids are up, then I'll feed my kids. They might be having a little line. Sometimes I love sneaking down. We're coming to the end of summer here, but it's light in the morning. I love sneaking down with my cup of tea and sitting on my garden swing outside. And then I feel like some sort of rubbish Dr. Dolittle as the two furry creatures come at me. And now my break. And then I do try and do mindfulness things like have an intent for the day, but I diarise my day. I know what's coming up with my day, but it's just that moment of pause and giving myself that little gift of a hot cup of tea. And then my usual breakfast, or smoothie that I have, and actually eating breakfast. Oh God, I didn't even used to eat breakfast. I used to have a cigarette.
I actually don't eat breakfast, so.
Oh, but when I was teaching, I gave up smoking at my late 30s, but when I first went to teaching, I didn't have any breakfast, and I'd go around the back of the sports hall and have a fag. Yummy. And it's just not looking after myself at all. Some days I want to eat until I got in at 5 o'clock. Crazy. Yeah. Because that's the narrative, isn't it? If you're working hard, you're doing good.
I see teachers walking and eating the lunch on the arduous, and they don't even know the process and the food that they're putting in the mouth. It's just
I've done that.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely. I just did it the other day, to be fair, just because I actually wanted to sit. But if I put my own science head on, I'm like, no, I should actually be sitting and enjoying the food, not just the peace and quiet that goes on without eating on its own. Yeah, crazy.
I'm actually chewing appropriately to aid digestion.
25 times. Chew 25 times.
Is it 25 times?
It's something like 20. Yeah, you should be chewing 20 to 25 times. But things that are sugary and fast foods, they don't require that much chewing, and that's why they're bad for you as well.
That's the UPF conversation, isn't it? You could probably can a burger in 4 bites. That's not good.
Yeah. No. And if the burger you put in the cupboard and keep it there for 5 years stays the same, then you've got a problem, because all natural stuff has a life and should go off, right? But there you go. That's a different episode within itself.
Teachers get burnout a lot, so I felt flattered that I was being progressed quite quickly up the leadership scale. Within 2 years, I was on a small TLR, a small bit of extra money for looking after SEN resources with the English department. Then I blinked and I became head of Key Stage 3, so that's 7, 8 and 9 curriculum. Then I got head of year, and at this point I was earning more. I was so impressed. I remember ringing my dad up going, I'm earning more money a year than I am years old. And I was really attracted by that because I grew up with nothing really. So I thought, God, like wow, I'm 27, I'm on 39 grand. Whoa, wow, that's amazing. I want more of that, please, because this makes me feel good about myself. But I didn't stop to think at any point, do I feel good about myself? And I didn't at all. I was like, but this job makes me feel like I do, because externally, what do you tell people? I'm a teacher. Actually, I'm a head of year. Oh, this, yeah. Oh, yeah. And, oh, because you've got that education, you can't see my poverty. You can't see my class shame. You can't see all the exiled parts of myself that I feel deep shame about. Because I've got this lovely little label now. And then I met my daughter's dad, both my children's dad. We're not together anymore, but I met him at the school where I was working. And then when I went back after my first maternity, after having Florence, being head of year was just not viable with a new baby, because you've got to be on call. But even on that, I went back to work after 4.5 months, right? Because I mean, this is crazy now. I had Florence on March the 1st. I went back to work the first week of July because I felt guilty, because I'd been recently promoted to head of year. I felt guilty that I wasn't working. And I remember going back to work and Flo was in a bouncer. And I was bouncing her with my foot, answering emails on a Sunday to parents about stuff that just didn't bloody matter, like so-and-so's lost their PE. And I had this little baby girl looking up at me, and I just ignored her. I gave up breastfeeding to go back to work. I put my own daughter's nutrition and my boobs' needs to let milk out.
We're laughing because she's boobs.
My bonded with my daughter.
Yeah.
And you know what? We were paying £950 a month to nursery. Right? But I felt so guilty. And I will never get that time back. And you know, when you ask me, why did you leave teaching? It's not a singular answer. It's because I wasn't in the headspace of knowing what's right for me or my kids is why I left. And then, you know, so when I went back, I wasn't head of year, then became second in department. Then the head of department went on maternity leave, and I thought, I can't take that on. I just had our second daughter at this point, Rosemary. I thought, I can't have 2 kids and be head of department. Even I knew that was a bit whack. But I got the bug then of going, but they wanted me to be. Oh, I could be a head of department. Wow, head of English. That's mega. Next is SLT. And so I went chasing that, didn't I? Mm-hmm. So I moved to another school and I went chasing that. Not available here. So I went to another school, got head of English. Okay. That corresponded, that was in 2018, that corresponded with the year that I separated with the girl's dad. Well, split up. Mm-hmm. That relationship ended. So I became a single parent with a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, and I was recently made head of English.
Tough gig.
Yeah. Oh, and I have MS as well. So that started to go a little bit woo-woo as well, because I was exhausted. Mm-hmm. And I remember my head teacher at the time, I said, look, is there any way I can go down to 0.8? I'm sorry, I know I only started in January. By July, I was a single parent. So from September, can I go down to 0.8? I can't do this. I literally don't know how I'm going to be a mum and give you your money's worth. I mean, I was lost in that conversation. There was no like, I don't feel well or anything, or like, sure. I am heartbroken. Or,
what did they say?
Or I am heartbroken. Like, my family's just ended. Do you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't even think about that. It was mass disassociation. Just get to work, get the job done.
What mask do you think you put on the most?
The work mask, like, you know, the title of my work.
Yeah.
Everything's okay. I can cope with anything. Don't worry, I snap. She'll do it. I'll be the first volunteer. They were the big ones that I kept around me for a long time. You know.
Pleasing people.
Oh my God. People pleasing, perfectionism. You know, when I see clients play this stuff out now, I was blind to it, and you can see their eyes lighting up, going, "Oh God, I do that." And actually, a lot of that links to a flight trauma response. And when I think about some things that happened in my childhood that I don't feel comfortable to share right now, but the trauma response was always flight. I was like mongoose mode, panic mode all the time. And I kept that with me. Trying hard, perfectionism, please others, don't look at me, don't see my vulnerabilities, just panic all the time, and like hummingbird speed. And I caught myself doing it yesterday, funnily enough, but at least I know what's going on now. So it's the end of the summer holidays, and so I've got both my daughters at work. I had 3 clients booked in. I had 2 phone calls I needed to have at the college to prepare for the next cohort coming in. And I was just, and then all of a sudden I started making spaghetti bolognese. Why would I do it? That's mental. Do you know what I mean? That's me. Instead of sitting with the feeling of being discomfort, you have the discomfort of going, all right, what needs doing? Make some choices. This is what I'm trying to say. You know, if you ever find yourself doing stuff, a bit of self-compassion I have for it then. And I just had to stop, tap out. Why are you doing this? What are you sat with here that's uncomfortable? What's making you feel like you've got to throw the kitchen sink at it again and start growling at your kids and feeling panicky? What is that? And what it was, when it boiled it down, it was the thought of going back to work and how do you manage everything again after the summer holidays. I can do it, and I can do it healthily now. But it was that old going back to school panic feeling that had been 16 years. I mean, I've been lecturing now for 2 years at the college. It's not as if this is new work for me and this is natural, you know, new job anxiety. It's not. It was that going back to school feeling. That's what it was. And I was like, right, sit with it then. Why are you making a spag bol while you're on the phone to a colleague? Keep an eye on the clock. You've got a client coming over here. Madness.
It is madness.
It is, but I recognise it, and that's where self-compassion comes in. You know, we said, you know, the importance of self-compassion. To go, you know why this is, sit with it, because it's okay, it will pass. And that's what I never was able to do before.
So when do you think you got your stuff together?
So yeah, deep intake of breath there. I don't know, do we ever get our stuff together? Or I would argue that we get a sense of awareness. I think it's about knowing yourself. It's know thyself. You know, as the Greek philosopher Socrates said, know thyself. If you know yourself, you can befriend yourself, you can be kind to yourself, you can champion yourself. For me, that know thyself, it's the understanding of the self. That is having your shit together. If anybody says, I have my shit together, they don't. They're probably trying to sell you something.
Yeah.
Because nobody does. They don't. Yeah. You just know thyself. That is having your shit together.
What you just witnessed is only a snippet of our amazing conversation this week. This is what Leading Our Own Way is all about. Real stories, real transformation. If you're watching this before Wednesday, part 1 dropped yesterday and part 2 releases tomorrow. But if you're already here after Wednesday, all parts are available now. Head to YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts and every other major platform and look for the numbers on the bottom left-hand corner of the episode's covers to start with part 1. Trust me, you don't want to miss this incredible journey.